What's up guys, it's Shannon and today we're going to check out KL Eco City again, but today we're going to focus on Aspire Tower, which is their latest office building that's going to be completed very soon. Very excited because a lot of story lah. Anyway, we are now at ViiA International Centre, which is their sales gallery for the entire Eco City. And when you think about it, this reminds me back then when this was really launched, right? It was that next big thing. Back then, Gardens was ngam, almost in execution. Midvalley was the mall, right? And you can witness all the construction that is still ongoing after so long. Generally, we have kind of documented the entire development of this township. It's just very exciting to see a new place being designed, built, and really used. Now let's meet our friend in the sales gallery. So this is the entire planning for KL Eco City, and there will be an entrance here that connects to Jalan Pantai Baru. Then this is the MPE connection that joins right into Jalan Marof to Bangsar. This will be the Abdullah Hukum LRT station along with the integration of KTM. So we have witnessed that during the last visit. Project that we're going to focus today will be Aspire Tower, which is the next office that is kind of more strategic than the rest, just because it's connected to this central link. So from a pedestrian experience, you can directly walk over to the office, and the office also shares the same podium along with the residence as well as the corporate office tower. This entire master plan embodies that mixed development, integration, complementing each other in terms of function. Nice. Then if we are looking from Gardens point of view, this will be the entire outlook, and that will be Aspire Tower that is sandwiched again right next to this link that connects the mall, the pedestrian walkway along straight away to the Gardens Mall as well. Also, something to point out, many people do not notice this. There's a two-tier road in the entire township of Eco City. So that is designed to relieve the congestion of traffic during peak hours lah. But I must say, because of the popularity and the connectivity of this location, even with this kind of design, it's still very, very congested. So this will be the cross section of Aspire Tower, and we can see the demarcation of different levels, and that is in accordance to different type. Okay, so we have the executive, signature, and the premier, and the main difference will be the size. So it depends on what kind of business that you want to operate, and that will dictate the size that you need. Generally, office, there's two types. One would be the stratified office where you get to own a particular pocket within the tower. The other type would be the entire tower is owned by somebody else, you can only rent. Another thing to think about when you are considering office spaces would be the typology of office again. So what you can see here is a clear demonstration of integrated living. So your staff gets a place to stay, you get malls around, you get the complementation of services from other vendors around the office zone. Then you are connected in terms of the LRT, and you also get the Midvalley and Gardens Mall in comparison to a standalone office. So the lunchtime would be the perfect example. Like maximum of office tower can have a cafe or a cafeteria for lunch, that's about it, but the staff wants more, nowhere else to go but to drive out. But for the tenants in Aspire Tower, you can just zoom over to Garden. The only thing is, when will they come back only, because there's just so many, you should go shopping on. So besides that, what they are trying to do as well for Aspire Tower is to integrate lifestyle elements into the tower itself, where you can see the landscape deck, the wellness center and gym. The business center, because if I were to take up one space only, and if I want to have a convention, this will be available. Then that will be the sky dining at the rooftop. So for the executive office layout at the lower portion, right, this will be the smaller size one. Therefore, there's going to be 12 units per floor, ranging from 1009 to 1001 in size, right? So it depends on how much you want. But what's interesting is this, you look into the zones of lobby, right? There's in total 16 lifts. So there's a lift system that caters only to the low zone, the other catering to the high zone. 16 lifts, guys. Oh, yo. Then if your business is expanding and you're not sure that what kind of space that you need, right, there will be customizable space, and they call it a signature office, where you get like a 3 space together and they will give it to you as one. Or if your business is just super successful after the pandemic, you can take up the entire floor level, which is going to be around 18,690 square feet for the entire floor plate. But when you occupy such spaces, you need to think about car park as well, and there will be designated car parks like for every unit of the signature offices, which is the customizable one. They give you maybe 3 to 4. Unfortunately, the smaller ones don't have. But if you get a premium office, you will have your very own accessorized parcel, which is the car parks, up to 20 bays. That's very exciting. So for that 20 bays, you don't have to pay car park anymore because it belongs to you. And now, judging based on this fashion sense right now, let's go to the site. So right opposite Mercu 2, this will be the link, and we are underneath it. We are going into the site. Hey guys, so this will be the premier office, which is the layout type that you will take up the entire floor plate. So this is where they remove all partitions, and because with the current structural system, all the partitions within the office are non-load bearings, right? So you can see that huge columns at the end. This will be the actual handover unit. It means that whatever you see right now is exactly what you will get. Where you have the raised floor system, you have the trunking, so it will be very easy for you to set up your work desk, and all the cables, and the air cons are also all in place. Up to you whether you want to put plaster ceiling or not. So basically this is huge. And if you are taking up this kind of unit, there will be certain number of car parks that comes along with such units. So if you look into the entire structural system, it's very tidy. There's no extra kinks here and there. Although the columns are huge, but it's positioned very far away. So this can be a meeting room by itself. And the window is floor to height using that curtain wall system. Very, very nice. So this is what elevated flooring looks like. So it gives you flexibility in laying your electrical wirings in the future, right? And that will be the holes for you to adjust the trunking. Right, when you open them up, it's gonna look like that. So it's pretty convenient for renovation later. Cool. Also, if you're taking up this floor plate, you have that freedom of owning 8 lifts altogether, serving your entire office. What we are here to see is the treatments of finishing. So you can see this stone finishing, right? The aluminium. And this will be the experience of your guests or your workers coming into your office. So nice. Another important aspect, if you are renting an office, you need to check out the condition of the bathroom. This is for the OKUs. Then you have a shower area, the refuse area, and this will be the gents. So they are providing total finishings for their basin, urinals as well. Then you have this huge window that I like. It's mechanical ventilated. So an estimation after measuring right here to the glass, there will be 15 meters and a height that is around 3 to 3.5 meters. It's a very good height for an office space because you've got to always think about the aircon loads, and there's no need to have extravagant height for office space actually. So a unit like this is going to cost around 30 million, including 20 accessory car parks. Moving on. This should be the executive office. Nothing fancy, right? You have your walls, structural system. It's going to be cement screenings only. Most likely you're going to put in your vinyl tiles or your laminated timbers or your carpet, right? Therefore they set this drop, right? So after you lay, it's going to be flat surface. And you're going to have a glass door all wrapped up nicely, and that will be the aircon latch at the side. So for units like this, for the executive officers, right, there won't be any car park provided. But in case you want something bigger, you can always go up further, and that's the way they lay out the entire floor plans. Going through the corridor, this will be a 2.1 meter width, 2.8 in height, all artificial lighted because there won't be voids or windows all around. And you will have units at the side like this. I like the corners, and most likely your wayfinding will be around here, your tube pipe, and you go in. So this door will be provided as well. Also, part of the requirement for certain corporations to lease or to rent a place to operate, the space needs to be in compliance of two things: the sustainable part and the emergency part of things. It means it's either GBI or LEEDs. In Aspire Tower's case, it's going to be LEEDs. On the other side, this is also an MSC compliant building. Very nice. And back then, when this place was being developed, right, a lot of people tend to be negative about the abundance of office towers. Why would so many people want to come here just to rent an office, right? But like for the latest Mercu 2, it's around 80 to 90% tenanted. Not only that, if you look into the boutique offices in the different tenants that is running around that place, this location definitely has its charm in terms of a location that's strategic for office use. And then having that shared facilities with ViiA, which is the resident component. Then you have the hotel as well. Then you have a corporate tower, which is going to be used by an insurance company. What people don't see as well, when you have different companies all together in one zone, right? Collaboration and services and facilities can be shared around. So collaboration happens pretty easily as well. And not forgetting, one of the best thing about this project site, right, will be the location, right? So that is gardens already. By road, by train, by walking, everything is just very convenient. Definitely one of those experiences, right, where they even provide a mock-up show unit in the construction site to give you a better illustration of the usage for the space. Sometimes when we think the office is what? 1,200 square feet. So small. But many do not understand, after you furnish the space actually looks bigger. So coming in, the first thing we will solve will be the flooring. There will be a layer of carpet, right? So that will be the most direct, and this will be the layout setting. Most likely you're going to put your meeting room sitting inside here because everything needs to be dark, and sometimes when we look into the screen, right, we can just turn off the lights. It will be way easier. Then you have the daylight portion of space for your workers. So with his or her presence, the performance will increase as well. Then on the other side, we have the pantry, and all units will come with its own water point. That's exciting. And I've only recently learned about this, that not all office spaces comes with its own bathroom. Not all unit comes with water point. So it's impossible for you to have a pantry. But personally, I just prefer to have that convenience of letting my staff eating at the work desk if they want to wash their cutleries or whatsoever. Right? Then you also have your storage area. That's very important because office also has a lot of stuff like your spare chairs or whatever. So I really appreciate this idea in portraying this unit to its potential, because not everyone has that eye for interior design, and 1,002 is a rather big area to play around. So here we need to talk about two things. Number one, whatever within the unit is up to your jurisdiction, but the experience of your customers or the experience of your guests begins from the address itself. So when you tell people that, hey, I'm in KL Eco City, I can either take train or I can either drive there. After the meeting, maybe we can grab a bite at Gardens or Midvalley or even Bangsar in that matter, right? And then when you stop by the office, the security measures like the turnstile system, the security guards, the lift lobby, and when they come up to the unit, the corridor, before they reach into your office, all those common areas are something that we need to really pay attention to, and those will be the difference between projects and location. It also depends on your business nature. Is it consultancy by appointment basis, or are you a back of house or a production house for certain services, right? So those two different natures. Either you're serving customers along with your staff, or you're really just team member focused. We are now slowly cascading down. We are at level 2 right now, and they call this the connectivity floor. And that is with the reason of directly from the hub, you get to take the escalator right up to this level. And this is where we stopped last time when we visit ViiA, right? That will be the residence, then the hotel, and that will be the corporate tower of Zurich being the main anchor tenant. So on the right here, you have the lift that access the car park. So once you come out from the car park, most likely there will be landscape treatments here to form that barrier. So you can really take a chill walk before you head on to the main lobby of the 16 lifts divided between the high floors and the low floors. So in this space, it demonstrates the lifestyle element within office setting. If you think about the old office building last time, it's purely go in, leave, straight away your workspace. Here you get that lifestyle elements of the gym lah, the sky dining in the future lah. You have a park for you to de-stress lah. That work-life balance element is really very strong here. Also that connectivity between elements such as the living, which is ViiA, as well as the hotel, as well as the corporate tower that is occupied by Zurich. For the current asking price for this is around 1,300 to 1,500 per square feet. Is it expensive? If you look at the neighboring, we have tech titans, we have Samsung, WeWork, Shopee and many other companies. Sure got reason for them to be here, and therefore the argument for that price becomes very exciting. First of all, we are now in the lobby space and you can see the hub is right next to us, right? So this will be the connection point, and in the future there will be turnstiles, reception counters and whatsoever. And you can see evidently there's two different lift lobbies, one for the low floors, one for the high floors, and in total there will be 16 different lifts all together serving all the tenants. And to imagine that the entrance to the mall and the LRT, right? It's so close. Looking at the rendering of this lobby, right? Wow, I must say, I'm pretty excited to see the finished product. And I guess that's all for the site visit. And I guess that's the end of the tour. It's now time for Sean Dick 3 on 3. Three things I really like about the project. Number one would definitely be the location. It's really in between prominent addresses such as Bangsar, Pantai, Bangsar South, PJ, Old Klang Road, Cheras, and not only by car, by train as well, the KTM, the LRT, and you're sandwiched between the MPE and Midvalley and Gardens. So that's very convenient, and that's very important for your team members to come to office every day as well as your guests. So it depends on your business nature, whether is it more focus on customer basis or more focus on service base. So your main customers will be your team members. And point number two will be the convenience, and there will be two aspects to this. One will be the convenience in terms of moving around. Like KL Sentral is like 2 stations away, and on the same track you get to go to KLCC as well. And this is the prime route of LRT where it connects you to Ampang Park, KL Sentral, KLCC, Planet Jaya, right? Then in terms of the office situated next to a mega mall, Midvalley and Gardens, right? That's very important in terms of the in-between working hours. Not only that, you also have the KLEC Mall right about downstairs. So right now, in between working hours, suddenly it becomes very convenient for your staff to do their own personal things, or to grab lunch, or to just connect with each other, bonding, so your work productivity will shoot up. And in terms of typology, you can really see the infrastructure and architecture trying to integrate everything together, from the train station that link to the hub that links to the mall along with Mercu 2 as well as Aspire Tower, and that further connects into Gardens and Midvalley. So it's within the pedestrian experience is also very pleasant. Everything shaded, everything well ventilated, comfortable. Another layer to that will be within the same plot of land, you have the Aspire Tower, you have the residential ViiA, then you have hotel as well, then you have the corporate tower, and those three will be sharing certain common areas. So that kind of blurs the line for this office being a lifestyle office or a full corporate office, right? Now you have gym, you have park, you have sky dining experiences, and that will be point number 3. As well as the macro elements are not good enough, right? Within the development itself, they are doing their best. So as we mentioned in the unit just now, if you're looking to a unit, everything within your strata lot is entirely up to you, right? But what matters the most would be the experience going to your door. Either is it by train, by car, walking through the common area, the parking my car, coming up from the lift, what will I see? Then from security measures point of view, are there turnstiles? What will be the lift waiting time? What will be the finishes in the lift lobby? And when I come into your office, is the corridor wide enough? And if I need to take a toilet break, how would be that experience? All those are pretty much covered in this sense, and you just need to take care of your strata lot, and that is very enticing. And then the 3 things I don't like, number 1 would definitely be the congestion. This location has always been very famous for its congestion, especially during after office hours, Friday nights or those peak hours. But you come to think of it, which location don't have congestion, right? When it's popular, congestion somewhat seems to be the side effect of things. The second thing would be the pricing. of it being around 1,003 to 1,005 currently. Relatively, if you compare specs to specs, like square feet to square feet, yes, it's kind of on the high side, but if we look into typologies of offices, they are divided into individual standing offices as well as integrated offices. And the main difference would be the experience for your staff. During lunch hours, do they need to walk out or do they need to drive out? Is it effective then? But from an integrated point of view, everything seems to be sorted out. You don't even need to drive to work, and that is going to be a big plus point when you consider for an office space. Plus, the only reason why we think that the price currently is a bit too high is due to the COVID situation. Like the mall currently in this scenario, it's not that pleasing. The crowd around Gardens and Midvalley also not that pleasing. Everyone starts to adopt that work from home situation, therefore you don't see a lot of employees walking around the office towers anymore. But when we look into specs, right, Mercu 2 is 90% tenanted. In this current situation, then we have all the boutique offices all being sold out, and it's around 50 to 60% tenanted as well. Those numbers prove indirectly the demand for this location to be run as a commercial office. And last of all would be the market sentiment and perspective towards office space that is currently oversupply. Everyone says oversupply. Yes and no. Yes, if you look into the supply, it's there. But the trend currently would be the right sizing phase that people are going through now. Because of this COVID, everyone works from home, right? But ultimately, I think moving forward will be a hybrid model where we meet up every week once and something like that. So you need more meeting spaces and crucial support system to be in the office. Therefore, there will be more hot desk system, and with that budget, right, instead of having a 6,000 square feet, now maybe a 2,000 square feet will work. But for this 2,000 square feet, it needs to be a place where it's convenient for everyone to gather. Therefore, this location kind of has its charm to that portion of people who is looking really very hard to right size their operation office. And I think that's all for this episode. I'm just very excited because since day one when this was announced, everyone kind of have doubts to this entire development, but looking at it almost at its final stage, right? I would definitely say this is a huge success. It really leveraged on the connectivity and the convenience on the surrounding, being in Bangsar South, Midvalley and all. Every time you hand over your card, the address says KLEC City, right? Full more. And I think that's all for this episode. If you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Shout out to the team for showing me around the site. I really appreciate it. And with that, thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one. Ciao.